Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, I'm Lorraine.
And this is Girlish Gurus. And Lorraine, why are we here?
We're here to talk about mid-lifestyle topics for women who are 45 and older to help you live your best, healthiest, and most fulfilled life. We're also going to have lots of fun along the way.
So let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Girlish Gurus. I'm Joy.
And I'm Lorraine.
Lorraine, what are we talking about today?
Mindset reset.
This is a good one. I actually have been really excited about this. As soon as I saw the Mindset Reset pop up on your broadcast channel on Instagram, I was like, oh yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
So good. Yes.
Yeah. And we had a little chat before we came on the podcast and just discussed a little bit why New Year's resolutions may fail and why people quit after January 21st or the second January, Quitter's Day,
Right.
Second Friday in January. And it could have something to do with our mindset and negative self-talk.
Judgment. Yep. Mhm.
Self-judgment. Definitely.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So we did a little research. And, well, before we get into the research, the one thing we will do, as Joy shared, is a mindset reset.
We talked a little bit about the Mindset Reset in our last episode, which was Not Your Mama's Resolutions.
Right. And so now the mindset reset, well, as you hear this, it will be a weekend. So January 1st, it begins. But you can start this at any point.
Right.
So you can join at girlishgurus.com, on Instagram at Girlish Gurus, or at The Magic of Menopause on my broadcast channel, where you'll get like a prompt every day in your DMs.
Right.
From there. So in the Mindset Reset, we'll cover topics including conquering your thoughts, avoiding negativity, nature therapy, letting go of control, ways to stay positive, dropping resentment.
Ooh, big one.
And focus, focus, focus.
I love that.
Right? So all the things that we really need to have a good start to a brand new year. And I like to say a magical year.
Yes.
Because I want every year to be magical.
Yes.
Every day there'll be a different prompt for you. There will be homework, very simple homework to kind of guide you into getting into that new mindset, a more positive mindset, because so many of us get stuck in a rut. Right? We end the year kind of stuck in a rut. That's
Yes.
the whole purpose of New Year's resolutions and goals, is because we want to start brand new. So this is a great way to reframe how we do it, how we think about it, without putting too much, I guess, pressure on ourselves, and kind of getting rid of not our weight.
But our self-judgment.
Yes.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
This is going to be so good. Go check it out. Sign up. Come on this journey with us. Yes. What a great idea, Lorraine.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to girlishgurus.com, there will be a freebie you can download, which will have all of this information in it. So even though you'll have the prompt every day, you can have it all in one place. You'll get a different prompt every day for a week, I think, through the freebie. But then you can still join us every day throughout the program for your own mindset reset.
Gives me chills. I love it. Great idea.
Yeah. So I
You're
hope
my
to see you
hero.
there.
Yes. I hope we see you all there. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here's to 2024
Yay.
and a positive life.
Every day. So today's topic, such a good topic. Yes. And ties all of this together with a nice, neat bow. And they were really, really interesting articles that we found that drive right into the heart of the whole issue of your mindset, because happiness is an inside job.
That's right.
And if you can't start there, then you're going to have a bit more difficult time living your best life overall.
Yeah. And part of that is that we have a lot of negative self-talk. We have a lot of self-judgment.
Yes.
And I think that kind of puts the kibosh on our goals, like we said, because we think, oh, I can't do that. That's not me. I'm not good enough, or whatever. Insert your reason.
Right.
And so this one article that we found on believeinmind.com, what is self-judgment and why do we do it? A lot of it has to do with low self-esteem. When we have a negative view of ourselves, we are prone to do judgment as a way to confirm those beliefs. We have unrealistic expectations. That also falls right into setting goals for New Year's, right? We may make unrealistic goals for ourselves that are unattainable,
Right.
because we put too much on ourselves, right? And we talked a little bit about that in the last episode about go big or go home, and most of us go home. And so we want to really make attainable goals. We don't want to necessarily have everything perfect, because that's another thing. Perfectionism is, right? The tendency to demand perfection from oneself. And that leads to self-judgment when you don't fulfill something that's unattainable. So to overcome the habit of self-judgment, these are some of the things that we found. So Joy, you want to start with the first one?
Yes. Okay, and this is a big one. This is a really important one. You have to practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness and empathy as you would someone you care about. And here is the one that gets me the most. Forgive yourself for mistakes and imperfections. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Huge.
And sometimes we're led to believe these things about ourselves, maybe from other people in our life, maybe a toxic person or a negative person in our life. It might not just be what we tell ourselves.
Right.
And so we have to learn to not only not listen to some of our own negative self-talk, but maybe someone.
Theirs too.
Yes.
And it could be that person is your parent. And you have been
Conditioned.
that way since birth.
Yeah.
And unhooking that, oof, that's a big one.
And therapy is always a welcome
Yes.
tool. Yeah.
Get help if you need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So important. Speak kindly to yourself and know that there are people there for you.
Yes.
And to not listen to those voices.
That's right.
And the second one is to challenge negative thoughts. Notice self-critical thoughts and try to adopt a more balanced perspective. Look for evidence that contradicts your negative views.
Yeah.
Because you can always find something. You'll think, oh, well, I can't do that, or I'm terrible at that. But then you remember, oh, wait a minute, wait, I did accomplish that. Look what I did accomplish. It might not have been exactly what the plan was, but we have to look at all the positive things in our life that we can accomplish,
Right.
that we have accomplished.
Right. And positivity, this type of positivity specifically, is a muscle. And you can build it by working at it.
Yeah.
It's not something maybe that you're going to be great at right away, but you can become more resilient. You can become more positive just by working at it.
Yeah.
And that's success.
Right. There's such a thing also as, I forget what the term is, where it's like not everything is Pollyanna.
Right.
For those of you who don't know who that was. Everything was happy and everything was good. Disney story.
Right.
But we have to learn to make space for one another, accept that there are sad things that happen to us.
Sure.
There are negative things. It's not that we're dismissing those things, but we can change the way we look at those things and respond to those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that you can control, your response.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, here's another big one. Accept yourself. Learn to appreciate yourself as you are. Instead of harshly judging yourself for perceived flaws or inadequacies, you are enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing, especially if that's something that you have experienced your whole life.
Yeah. Thanks for the therapy session, Joy.
You're welcome. That one's a freebie.
So the next one is to set realistic expectations. And we talked a little bit about this in the last episode too, that you don't want to really put too many unattainable things on your list, right, on your goal list, and not to demand perfection all of the time. And you will find that as you listen to us, as you watch our videos, we are learning as we go, and we are learning that it's okay to make mistakes. It's actually fun sometimes to make mistakes, and to not do something. Is that a way to say that?
Yes.
Not.
It's a double negative, but yes.
Yes. I mean, if you have a passion and you really want to accomplish something, don't not do it because it's not perfect.
Right.
Because, again, we judge ourselves so much more harshly than other people do, I hope.
Well,
it's true, right?
Well, for one thing, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah.
And so the people that we are serving, our demographic, I think that they are going to see how much we're trying to put good content out that is really going to help them. And they're also going to see how much fun we're having.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you go back and watch our Seasons Eatings videos on YouTube, you're going to see plenty of mistakes. But it was so fun. That
Yeah.
was such a fun
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we want you ladies to help us get to the point where we can hire some VAs to help.
That's right. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
So we need some viewers out there. We
Yeah.
need some people to follow this podcast. So help us, ladies.
That's
We-
right.
We need you to be our tribe.
We need you to be our tribe. Yes. Actually, you already are. You just probably,
Yes.
some of you don't know it.
Yes.
But come along and enjoy the fun with us.
That's right. Okay. Number 5.
Ooh, be mindful. I love this one too. I love it. This is, to me, the heart of it all.
Yeah.
Be mindful. Be present. Pay close attention to your thoughts and notice when it arises. Make a deliberate effort to shift to a kinder inner voice. And with regular practice, this can become a habit. I love it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
So breaking the habit of being
Judgmental.
judgmental.
For yourself.
Yeah.
And for others, too. But just
It
self-judgment.
can be hard. I mean, it really can be a hard one. But I do think the older, now I'm about 15 years older than you, I think.
I don't think you're quite 15 years
Okay,
old.
so 13 years older.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but at this point in my life, I feel like, and I talk about this, I don't give two Fs anymore about a lot of things, really, like the judgment of other people. I used to let that affect me so much. So that's one thing that I'm getting better at. Yeah. Do I get embarrassed? Obviously.
Well,
I mean, we all,
I embarrass myself all the time,
yeah,
please.
and whatever, it happens and whatever. But I care less. And we talked about how I was always fearful of public speaking because of making mistakes and whatever. And now I'm doing more of it, and I plan to do lives.
Yes.
Because of obviously when you do a video, you can edit, right? But if you're going live, whatever happens, happens. And I have done some of them and things have messed up and whatever. But I don't hold that judgment so much the way I used to, because I know when I watch other people doing the same thing and things like that happen, it endears me to them, because this is life. We're people. We make mistakes. And so,
And we're doing this on our own.
right. So if you can forgive yourself and also be able to forgive others for how they treat you, I think you'd be much better off.
Oh, yeah,
And have
for
a
sure.
much better positive attitude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of being mature, though. You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to come by that wisdom after you've lived through some things in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's what comes with age and experience. That's the benefit of aging.
Yeah.
A huge benefit.
That wisdom.
Getting that wisdom and having the ability to laugh at yourself and let minor things pass and not get so tied in a knot over ridiculous things, you know?
Yeah.
Or I should say small things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For some people, they might not be ridiculous,
right,
right?
right.
But it's true, small things. And I know that, so in this article, they go on to talk about the negative impact of self-judgment. So how this can really affect someone, right? So we don't want to dismiss how people feel, because
Right.
it's your feelings and,
Yes.
and that's how you feel. But in this article, it suggests that it can have serious negative consequences, right, for your mental and emotional well-being. So some of the things that they talk about in the article are that it fosters feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. And when you constantly criticize yourself, you start to believe those criticisms, chipping away at your self-esteem and confidence in your abilities.
Yeah.
So
That
again,
hurts my
that's-
heart.
That's why we want to change that mind shift. We want everybody to get that mindset, like a more positive mindset. And I think by actually doing things, like finding that passion, and not that it makes you good at something, but if you enjoy something, even if you're shitty at it,
Right.
do you know? I mean, it's just something that you want to do and keep in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I, in my mind, am a professional lounge singer.
There you
So
go.
when I'm in my car, I'm belting out the show tunes.
And
Now-
I've heard you sing. She does have a good voice.
No, not that good. And truly. And I know that I'm not great at it, but I still love
But
to
you
do
enjoy
it.
it.
I do. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good.
So fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take a crack at painting. Mm-hmm. And whether it's good or not, I think I will enjoy it.
I find that it's not many things that you're not good at.
That's very sweet of you.
It's
but,
true.
But I wouldn't even care. I just want to
Right.
do it, you know? So,
All right. So self-judgment can lead to anxiety and depression. It activates your body's stress response, releasing cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, this can lead to more chronic anxiety and depression. So it snowballs.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you keep talking to yourself that way, obviously you're not going to feel good.
Right.
And you could become depressed. But there are things that we can do, and even the things that are in our mindset reset, things that we can do to overcome that, to help us treat ourselves with kindness. So another thing that might limit your potential due to fear of failure and self-criticism can prevent you from taking risks and challenging yourself, right?
Yes.
You'll avoid new opportunities and settle for less than your best. Now, I know people that do this. They don't
Yes.
feel like they can do something, so they won't
too.
even try.
Right. They
Yeah.
won't even try.
Yeah,
Won't even bother.
try.
So afraid of
Of
possibly
failure.
well, yes. And the fact of the matter is, no matter what, you are going to fail at something.
Yeah.
The goal here is to learn how to fail well. Don't take it so personally, and try to see it as an opportunity to learn. And I know that's easier said than done. But again, that's a benefit that comes along with aging. You're more experienced. You understand the value in failing.
Yeah.
Because there's value there.
Right.
You know?
And especially if this has been ingrained in you since childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is very hard. Just like, any kind of childhood trauma.
Oh, yeah. Very traumatic. Yep. Now, it can also strain your relationships. The way you talk to yourself is the way you talk to others. It often comes across as judgmentalness towards friends and loved ones, damaging intimacy and trust. Oh, yeah. That's a true statement. Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
It's like they say, hurt people hurt people.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And it can cause unhealthy perfectionism. Holding yourself to unrealistic standards creates an endless cycle of perceived failure, disappointment, and self-blame. And this level of perfectionism is unsustainable and unachievable.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. So all of these things, self-judgment, as we said before, I think really plays a big part in how we stick to or
achieve,
or quit.
Right? Or achieve goals we set for ourselves.
Right. Because we're telling ourselves, oh,
can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't get up and go to the gym. I wanted to lose 10 pounds and I only lost 3. Why bother? But so I think that changing that mindset, that last episode we did about having small, sustainable goals, like a monthly goal, and treating ourselves with kindness, all of it combined together, I think we'll have better outcome with New Year's resolutions. This is a quote that I love, and I think it kind of pertains to this and goal setting. It says, never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway.
There you have it. That's right.
So again, I wouldn't look at it if you haven't achieved your goal in a specific amount of time. It's not a failure. You just reset.
That's right. Try
Just
again.
Like the mindset reset.
Mindset reset. We're there for you. That's for sure.
Yeah. So then the article goes on to discuss ways to stop self-judgment. So number 1 is recognize your self-judgment triggers.
Ooh, good one.
Right. So to break this habit, you must first recognize the triggers that activate those critical inner voices.
You got to do a little bit of introspection.
Yeah.
And when you start feeling angst and you're upset, or say, for example, I had a technical failure recently, and I was pretty upset about it. But, I felt myself starting to get tied in a knot over it. And I was just like, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it right now. I'm just going to have to roll with what I got, and it's all good.
Yeah.
And I was able to calm myself down a little bit. But there at the beginning, I was pretty upset. Yep. Unnecessarily so.
Right. I think sometimes we have to ask our questions. Am I in immediate danger? Are other people in immediate danger?
Right.
Will this affect anything seriously in my life? No. It's really just you're frustrated with yourself, right? And that goal that you wanted to achieve.
Right. And I should have, well, see, now I'm going to fall down that hole. I should have known that was going to happen. And I dropped the ball, but it's all good.
Yeah. So what you need to do is pay attention to the types of situations that cause you to judge yourself harshly. And do you criticize yourself after a mistake at work or school, after an argument with a friend or family member, when you don't meet the expectations you've set for yourself? Identifying these triggers will help you anticipate self-judgment and reframe those thoughts. Yeah. And I'm sure I definitely have triggers, which I never even thought of them as triggers before. So I know for myself, I think I'm realizing that there are certain triggers when after a while there are common incidents that happen or whatever. And I've never considered them triggers before. And now I am. I am seeing like, okay,
that's a trigger.
Oh, that's a trigger. So it's like, okay, I have to just like, and I have to just realize that that doesn't reflect on me.
Right.
So you need to challenge your inner critic. So you want to go on with that one?
Don't accept those self-judging thoughts as truth. Question them and look for evidence that contradicts them. Try to adopt a kinder, more compassionate perspective. For example, if you start to think, I'm so stupid for messing up that tech thing I just messed up, challenge it with, everyone makes mistakes. I'm still learning and improving. One presentation or tech thing won't define me. Responding to your inner critic with empathy and encouragement can help shift your mindset over time. And boy, is that the truth.
I just had an idea. So instead of Girlish Gurus, I think our podcast should be called I'm Still Learning and Improving.
Rolls right off the tongue, Lorraine. Yes, that's good. I love it. Yes.
Every day we are learning.
Yes.
So I love it. Okay. Accept yourself as you are, right? So we want to stop judging ourselves, accept ourselves as we are. Acknowledge both your strengths and weaknesses.
Ooh, big one. Big one, yes. It's so easy to pinpoint what you're not great at. It's much harder because we're trained not to be conceited or, what's the word, braggadocious.
Yeah. We want to be more humble. You have to
Be humble. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't toot your own horn. Yes.
Yeah. No, we need to let our light shine.
Yeah. Let your own light shine. I agree.
So we all have positive and negative qualities, skills, and experiences that make us who we are. And recognizing the abilities, talents, and accomplishments that make you uniquely you. I don't like the way that just went.
Now is the time in the podcast when we start to laugh uncontrollably.
Okay, so also accept the parts of yourself that you perceive as flaws or weaknesses. And do not criticize yourself for what you lack or could improve. We each have, have our strengths and weaknesses. You and I have our strengths and weaknesses.
For sure, yeah.
Don't ask me to do any of that tech stuff. You will really be sad.
You're actually pretty good at it.
No. Simply acknowledge these attributes in a neutral, non-judgmental manner.
I love that.
Yeah.
Although it's hard to do.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was reading this article, preparing for podcasting today, I read that and I thought to myself, that's a trick. But if you can learn how to do it, if you can slowly over time take the emotion out of it, then that's a skill that you can learn and that's a muscle that you can strengthen.
Yeah.
And you will eventually start to develop a more positive outlook about yourself.
Yeah.
More self-esteem.
And I think surrounding yourself with positive people is also a wonderful way to, and reading positive. I love Hay House publishing all of their books because they really guide you on that path of self-love, loving others, positivity, and encouraging you to be with those type of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so avoid comparison with others.
Oh, huge.
And social media makes that so hard, right?
So hard.
So you need to focus on your journey and celebrate your progress and milestones.
I love that.
Yeah. And don't worry about everybody else's. Concentrate on you.
My mother would say, tend to your own knitting.
It's true.
Yep.
Love it.
The next one is avoid harsh self-criticism. We've talked about this a little bit before. Be kind to yourself, especially if you have failed. Be kind to yourself. That's a big one. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would show a friend.
Yeah. Big one.
Yep, that's a huge one. Speak to yourself with encouragement and praise for your efforts and accomplishments, however small. And forgive yourself for perceived mistakes, failures, or imperfections. No one is flawless. So do not demand perfection from yourself. I love that one.
Okay. Value yourself for who you are. Learn to appreciate yourself for who you are at your core, your personality, your spirit, and character. Right? And that's kind of what we were just talking about, that you want those kind of people in your life. And I think that you tend to, like even health-wise, they always say, right? If you're with healthy people, you tend to be healthier.
Right.
If you're with people who smoke and drink and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, if you're socially with those people, you tend to do what those people do.
Right, and that's a big part of the Blue Zone's modalities. You're in your collective group, and they tend to bring each other along in terms of healthy habits and things like that. So, yeah.
A strong community that thinks the same, acts the same. Yeah. So it's all beneficial to our mindset, our health,
Well-being.
and our well-being.
Challenge your inner critic. This is so good. I love this. This is the voice that constantly evaluates and criticizes you, and it can sound like a parent. It can be harsh and unrelenting, damaging your self-esteem and holding you back from personal growth. I laugh about that and make jokes, but it can be a difficult thing to overcome if you have had that experience in your childhood, maybe a teacher or a relative who has been demanding and unrelenting. And especially if you're not good at something and it's, say, for example, your math teacher and your little, 10-year-old Joy, and you're not great at fractions or whatever. But you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Those kinds of people in your lives who can
undermine
your self-esteem, that's something that you can work to overcome as an adult. You just have to continuously keep an eye out for that trigger.
And maybe forgive those people. Like we talked about forgiveness too, which I think is a big part of self-healing, to be able to forgive someone, maybe not forget, but to forgive them for your health benefit. Mm-hmm. So that could be a big way to heal if you've grown up with those kinds of
situations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Focus on your strengths and accomplishments. We all have things that we are strong at. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe lean into those no matter what you're doing, whether it's a passion or a job, and maybe even look for those things. A lot of women later in life are starting anew. So they're starting, it's like a second chapter. Mm-hmm. And they may have taken the time to raise families or had a career that now maybe they're stepping back from that and they want to try something different. Yes, exactly. Like the both of us.
Yeah.
Me for raising a family and you for having a career. Mm-hmm. And we're stepping into something new and a passion that we have. So focus on the things that you are strong at, particularly in our case with technology and creativity, and we bring different things to the table. Mm-hmm. So being able to celebrate those and our accomplishments, I think definitely will have an impact on how we look at ourselves and without other people's judgment.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As women, I think that we have to raise that vibration for each other.
Yes.
So even though we are thinking about ourselves and our accomplishments, there's not a whole lot of women raising other women up out there.
That's right.
There are few, and I have wonderful women that follow me on Instagram and are in my private group who are awesome. If they appreciate something I've done, or they just want to give me a shout out, or they share my name with some, I'm so appreciative of that. And I let them know that as well. Mm-hmm. And they always let me know, like in one of my newsletters, I have this one girl who follows me. And if a newsletter really hits her, she'll write me like a whole page.
Wow.
Yeah. About the things that relate to what I sent her. And she's always thanking me for being a positive light. And I'm not saying this to
again, now you're downplaying your, yes.
But I think collectively as women, if we did this more for each other, maybe we wouldn't have so much self-judgment. Mm-hmm. If women actually came together and supported other women, whether it's your friend or somebody you admire on social media or in business or whatever, and take the time to actually give them a shout out or
give them a compliment.
Let them know how they affect you in their life. And I've found myself doing that more and more because I know I do appreciate it when people do it, because sometimes it gets lonely on the other side of the computer, right? And you don't know if anybody's even listening to you or whatever. And this is a passion that we have found. So ladies out there, if you can even take a little bit of that advice, maybe you'll actually lift somebody else's life up today.
Mm-hmm. Go encourage someone, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Lift someone else's life up. I love that. I love that, yeah. Wow.
Because I think if we all did that for each other, there would be a lot less of
self-judgment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. You're going to make me cry, Lorraine. All right. The next one in this article is limiting social media. Oof. This goes hand in hand with not comparing yourself with others, because social media can be a big, bad hole in the ground that you kind of fall into when you start looking at all the things that are out there, all these people taking these fantastic vacations and, eating all this cheese and they're still thin, things like that. Social media is one of those things where it's fun to look at and it's fun to go and enjoy other people's experiences, live vicariously through them a little tiny bit. But really, you can help to reduce your self-judgment by limiting the amount of social media you are exposing yourself to. Social media platforms are designed to be highly curated versions of someone's life, focusing on achievements, life events, vacations, and other highlights. Constant exposure to these carefully crafted posts can fuel comparisons and negative self-talk. Just keep in mind when you're on social media that you are not necessarily getting the full view of that person's life. So they can look like they are having a fun time weighing 115 pounds but eating a wheel of cheese on a beach in, I don't know,
Bali,
right? But that can be something that's not quite an accurate representation of the whole of that person. So enjoy it for its beauty, for what it is, but don't hold yourself in comparison to those standards.
Yeah. I actually think a better way to use social media is to seek out like health hacks or people that are, I don't know, like whatever your goals are in your life and maybe your passions and dreams.
Yes.
Maybe seek out those accounts that help you feel good about yourself, that
Sure.
help you accomplish your dreams, things that you're passionate about, not so much to compare yourself to.
Right.
But
I
to,
agree.
to actually encourage and, it's hard for us to say stay off social media. Obviously, what we do incorporates a lot of social media. And for many people now in business, social media is a must, right? So, but I would say pick and choose those things that make you feel good rather than bring negative self-talk, self-sabotaging, things that compare you to other people, and more things that enhance your life and your health.
I agree with you. And also, under this category, they talk about be selective in what you share. And this kind of goes hand in hand with that. So when you do use social media, be selective about what you share, post updates, photos, and life events that are meaningful to you rather than trying to portray an idealized image of your life to impress others or gain validation. Share your authentic self rather than a curated version designed for likes and comments.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is the flip side of that. You're looking for those authentic accounts that serve you in a way by providing content that uplifts you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. Yes. Next up.
Spend time on self-care. So replace the time that you would have spent on social media, and I would say social media that's not beneficial to you,
Right.
or extended time on social media, because we can get sucked in for hours,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
don't want to do that. Set timers, limit yourself on social media, but instead do self-care activities. So I love when people, and I see this a lot, I don't have time, and yet we do get sucked into social media and all that time is wasted.
Right.
So you can spend some time on self-care activities that boost your self-esteem, like exercising, spending time again with people who are supportive, supportive friends and family, engaging in hobbies, practicing gratitude, and being kind to yourself.
Well, I feel like while there's a lot more in this article, the one really important thing that I think we should discuss a little bit is gratitude.
Yeah. And I think that in the last episode, we discussed how one of our New Year's alternative resolutions should be, before going to bed each night, writing down one thing we're grateful for. And I would say even extend that to 3 things you're grateful for. And I would extend it beyond that to not only before you go to bed, but maybe first thing in the morning, because it could set your intentions for the day. It could set your mindset for the day. And it might put you in that right frame of mind, that positive frame of mind, where you less likely give yourself negative self-talk, right?
Right. It'll move you out of that self-judgment mindset. Yes.
Yeah. So a gratitude journal is a wonderful thing to keep. You can go back and read it over and over. And I always, when I was coaching women, I had a group, and I remember one time I asked them, what is one thing you're grateful for today? And they were stumped because they thought it had to be something extreme or something, like profound. And I said, it could be as simple as the sun rose. It could be as simple as I spent time with my daughter. It's as simple as I love that meal I ate today.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It just simple things to be grateful for. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm so grateful for
A call from the universe or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It can be very simple things. I'm so grateful that I heard my favorite song today. So very simple things that we can write down every day that we're grateful for. And you'd be surprised how many things that you're grateful for.
That's right. It's very simple. It takes maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah. And there's actually scientific research that says it actually changes your brain just by doing that every day for 30 days.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's simple, cheap, easy, and free. Yep.
It will change your life.
Well, this has been a lot. It's been a lot to talk about. And I do want to just emphasize, I hope folks are checking out the Mindset Reset. Go check it out. Download the freebie at girlishgurus.com. Please, this is something that can be life-changing for you, especially for our demographic, which is women who are 45 and older. We've gotten into that slump or that rut. This is an opportunity for you to make some fundamental changes and to really make 2024 your best year ever.
So we hope that you will spend 2024 with Joy and Lorraine at Girlish Gurus, girlfriends exploring and enjoying the art of life.
Oof, I love that. I loved it then. I love it now. It's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
And you know what, Lorraine? I'm grateful for you.
And I am grateful for you.
And I'm grateful for all of our listeners. Please talk to us in the comments. Let us know what you're grateful for, what you're interested in hearing about on our podcast. And make sure you stay tuned because we have another episode coming up all about vision boards. And manifesting. You want to check that out because it's really good. And head over to our YouTube channel. Check out the videos there. We're going to have some videos about the vision board creations as well.
And I just want to throw in there, if you happen to know someone who you think would make a great guest on Girlish Gurus, please have them contact us at
girlishgurus@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yay.
Good.
All right. We'll see you in the next one.
Yep. Here's to all of you.
Yes. And a wonderful 2024. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Girlish Gurus. We hope you'll join us next time for more fun and inspiration. Be sure to check the description of this episode for links and information about the topic, and you can find us on our social media platforms starting with Instagram, Facebook, and now including YouTube. You can find us by searching Girlish Gurus, and you can also check out our website, girlishgurus.com, for more information on us, our projects, books, and our growing community.
And don't forget to download this episode, give it a good review, and share it with your girlfriends. We would also love to hear from you in the comments because the more interaction we get, the more episodes we can post. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.